and welcome back to my channel for another news time video. I hope you've been having a great week. This past week, we actually saw 5 videos from Scott Porter regarding the Avengers 60th anniversary unboxings, and I'm really excited for quite a number of figures, such as the Uncommon Hawk, who can reduce damage by rolling a single D6. I'm also looking forward to a couple of the new legacy cards, such as the one for General Thunderbolt Ross and the peanut-based Captain America, who can throw his mighty shield. And there are also a couple of figures from the Play at Home kit, such as the Superior Iron Man, and maybe even the new Captain America coming at 55 points. The whole set has been looking really cool. We've also got a rare Ultron. It's been a long time since we get a lower rarity Ultron, so I'm looking forward to getting that myself. And yeah, so for this video, we'll be actually going through the spoilers that came from this past weekend's HeroClix for Huntington's event, where the players actually get to play this set way ahead of everyone else. If I recall, it will be one booster of the Avengers 60th anniversary and one booster of Spider-Man Beyond Amazing. So we do have quite a number of spoilers to go through from this past weekend. I've actually consolidated whatever I could find, and let's take a quick view of these figures. So the first one that we have over here is the super rare Morgan Le Fay. As you can see, she has the Mystics team ability. She has the Latvaria, Mystical, Pass, and Ruler keywords. She also has a trait, Necromancer, Leadership Mastermind. When Morgan Le Fay uses leadership and succeeds, you may instead generate a zombie bystander, which we will be able to see at the back of this card. She also has a movement special power. You are Mind with a touch. Mind Control. Mind Control is free, but only to target an adjacent character. And she comes at 2 different point values of 100 points and 40 points. But let's take a look at her defense and damage power. Protection from evil, energy shield deflection, and super senses, while the damage power reality warp gives her close combat expert and power and probability control. So this piece actually looks like maybe a more close combat oriented figure where you can actually do the mind control while Jason as free. So you want to get her up close. She also has a precision strike at 12 attack if you to play at 100 points. Though looking at her 40 point value, I think that's the sweet spot because you still have the shape change as a way for you to avoid taking attacks. However, you'll lose your mind control. So, you have to give and take. At 100 points, you can potentially do 2 mind control, while at 40 points, you're mainly using her to generate the zombie bystander tokens. And we can see over here the zombie bystander token has a 4 movement, 9 attack, 16 defense, and 2 damage. It also has sidestep and a mystical team ability. So overall, this seems to be an interesting super rare figure. I don't think you can see her being played competitively, not at the moment. I think 100 points, again, sorry, I think 100 points will be the better one because you have access to all 3 of her special powers with a 12 attack as well. So I think I'm leaning her towards more of the higher point value. And moving on, we got 3 figures over here, which is Quasar, Beyonder, and Hammer. So from what we see, Quasar actually has the Guardians of Galaxy team ability along with Power Cosmic, Annihilators, Avengers, Guardians of Galaxy, Shield, and Cosmic keywords. He comes in at 2 different point values. I do believe the first one is 115. I can't see the point value for the lower one, but I think that's okay. He also has 6 range. He has 2 different dial starting. And let's take a look at the back of his card first. He has a special defense power, which is energy shield deflection and invulnerability. Quite a simple figure that you can find for a rare figure. But at 115 point, I think this will be pretty good to use if you were to use in a sealed tournament event, because you have access to this special attack power, which is teleportation and containment. Penetrating psychic blast. When Quasar attacks after resolution, choose one for each hit opposing character. Give that character action token or place that character into a square adjacent to Quasar. I like the second option a lot more because maybe you can do a penetrating blast attack, bring your opponent adjacent to Quasar, and get the rest of your team to attack that character. I think this figure is good for sealed, but nothing too much beyond that. And let's take a look at Beyonder. It's the Inhuman, Celebrity, Cosmic, and Politician keywords. He has the traded probability control. He comes in at 225 points or 100 points. So you can either start with the Hypersonic, Precision Strike, Invincible, and 5 damage outwit, or you can go for the lower point value of 10 Running Shot, 11 Penetrating Blast, 18 Impervious, and 3 damage with Close Combat Expert. He also has a Stop Click, which is Stop, Regeneration, and Super Senses. So if you were to play at the full 225 points, you have a total of 3 Stop Clicks. At 100 points, you also still have 2 Stop Clicks. So it's quite worth to play, in my opinion. And at the back of his card, there's nothing. They just list the amount of powers that he has. And here is our next super rare, which is Hammer, which is a alternate version of Thor. He has Hydra, Assassin, Brute, and Soldier keyword. He has the Hydra 4 trait, which you can find in the other Hydra 4 characters. When a friendly character with the Hydra team abilities KO'd, modify his damage by +1 until the end of your next turn. Okay, that's good. He also has the trait, the Might of Hydra. Friendly characters with the Hydra team ability can use it for close or range attacks. So just a reminder, the Hydra team abilities, when adjacent friendly character makes a range attack, modify the target's defense value by -1 if the target is within line of fire of this character. So now with this new trait of the Might of Hydra, you can also use this for close attacks as well. And this guy also comes with a special attack power, Electric Surges, Quick. When Hammer knocks back one or more opposing characters after resolution, you may choose a character he knocked back. If you do, deal 1 damage to each opposing character adjacent to the chosen character. Okay, that's pretty cool. You have Quick, so you actually gain knockback. You can knock back the character and, you know, kind of like playing bowling, and you deal more damage. And moving on to our next figure, I think this figure is going to see so much play just because of his potential to work with Sicarian Iron Man. Here we have War Machine coming in at only 1 point value of 95 points. Here's the Shield Team ability, Avengers, Shield, Stark Industries, and Armor keywords. Here's this trait. Watch Your Tail, Tony is a sideline active, once picking for all characters with this trait, which means you probably only want to have 1 copy of War Machine. When a friendly character with the Stark Industries keyword is damaged by an attack, after resolutions, you may generate War Machine from your sideline or click for adjacent to that character. If War Machine started this game due to this trait, when he would take damage, instead remove him from game and your opponent scores 10 points instead of his full point value. That is really cool. Coming in at click 4, he has Running Shot, Energy Explosion. He also has Enhancement at 3 damage, and he has a special defense power. Invulnerability, Super Senses. When an adjacent friendly character with an Armor or Stark Industries keyword is attacked, the attacking character can positively modify their combat values except range. Wow, this is such a powerful trait. You can actually come out from your sideline if your Sicarian Iron Man has actually taken damage, and now adjacent to Sicarian Iron Man, you can actually use this defense special power where your opponent can modify their damage values or their attack values when attacking your Iron Man. I think this figure has so much potential, and it's only a rare figure, thank goodness, because these sideline active figures, I've seen a lot of them coming in at your super rare prime or maybe even your recent chases such as Mephisto, which is the ultra chase for this set. I'm happy to see these sideline active abilities to appear more on the lower rarity, and I hope moving forward they'll appear more on the rare or like the common Skull Spies. I hope that happens a lot more often. This is a figure that I think everyone should get. And here we go with 2 more figures. We got Starbrand and Moonstone. Starbrand with the Avengers, Guardians of Galaxy, and Cosmic keywords. Starbrand also has the Cosmic Energy and the Guardians of Galaxy team abilities. And she has a trait, Born to Protect the Earth. When Starbrand attacks 1 or more opposing characters with the Cosmic keyword or have the power Cosmic of the Cosmic Energy team ability, modify her combat values by +1. When Starbrand is attacked with a character with the Cosmic keyword of the Cosmic Energy team ability, modify her combat values by +1. Okay, so it works both ways. If she's attacking or getting attacked by these characters, she can modify her combat values by +1. She comes in at 75 points with also an attack special. Another trait, bestow the Starbrand. Power action, choose another friendly character with a standard power Starbrand can use. Until your next turn, the chosen character can use the chosen power and modifies their combat value by +1. Okay, so you can actually modify your standard, your other friendly characters' values by +1. I think that's pretty good. It kind of feels like you're giving your partner character maybe a close combat expert, range combat expert, where you plus the attack and damage by +1. I think this is a really good trait. She also has a special attack power, which is range, make a range attack, and all other characters within 2 squares of the original target also become targets. Okay, this feels like a advanced version of an energy explosion. I think it's really cool. This is a super rare figure for 75 points. I think she's well worth it. Though coming in at a 6 movement running shot, the 6 movement value is kind of like the new average that we find with this Avengers 60th anniversary set. So I do hope that maybe you can get her into the battlefield fast enough because she can't fly. Still a good piece because you can modify combat values by +1. And here we have Moonstone, which is also super rare figure. She has the team player team ability, Dark Avengers, Monsters of Evil, Thunderbolt, Celebrity, and Scientist keywords, absorbing the second stone. If Moonstone is 25 points, she's KO'd when her dial clicks past the red KO line, Protected Pulse Wave. So you can play her at 25 points and you get the first 2 clicks. If you play her at 80 points, you get all 7 clicks. At the 25 points, the first 2 clicks, she has a special power, Intangible Touch, Facing Teleport, and Stealth. She has Passenger Tree, but only to carry characters that share keyword, regardless of size. Okay, so one of the new figures, such as Super Adaptoid, I do believe he shares the same keywords as her, and he's a giant figure, so Moonstone can actually carry that character. That's really good for 25 points. She has the improved movement characters as well. Improved targeting characters. And let's take a look. She has a special defense power, stop click, super senses, and invulnerability. So if you were to play her at 80 points, she has 2 of these stop clicks. You can use her maybe at the beginning as a carrier character, and if your opponent to hit her, she becomes an attacker with running shot, penetrating psychic blast, and 3 damage outwit. And speaking of Super Adaptoid, we're going to take a look at a prime figure today, which has the Spider-Man family, armor, and reported keywords with the Spider-Man team ability, the Spider Adaptoid, Invincible Super Senses, Super Strength, and Safeguard Outwit. That's a really good trait. You can play this figure at 140 points or 80 points. And as we can see over here, if you were to play her at a top value, you got Running Shot, you got Special Attack Power, which we will see. And we've got the Willpower and 4 damage with a Special Damage Power as well. If you were to go to the lower point value of 80 points, you instead have a lower attack with Penetrating Psychic Blast, and instead of Running Shot, you have the sidestep. And the special attack power, Web of Hammers, when Super Adaptoid hits, if the attack rolls was doubles after resolutions, you may have a hit character unequip any equipped equipment, where then make a close terrain attack as free, targeting that character regardless of adjacency. When she does, she may treat any one terrain, including objects within range and line of fire, as help. Okay, that's pretty interesting. You're kind of doing like a follow-up attack, but you have to depend on rolling doubles. So let's take a look at her damage special power, which is range combat expert. When Super Adaptoid is given a range destroy action after resolutions, you may place her in a square that was last occupied by the destroyed terrain. If you do, you may make a range attack. I think she's a pretty interesting character, but for Super Red Prime, I think it's okay. You have the Invincible, Super Senses, and Super Strength as traded. So with the Spider-Man team ability, you can avoid taking attacks from 4 to 6 for your Super Sense roll. I think she's hard to kill, but she's kind of costly at 140 points. And just to use the Web of Hammers special ability, you need to roll doubles. So if there's a way for you to roll doubles, I think she's really good. But at the moment, I think she's alright. And now moving on to our next Prime figure, we have Captain America, which is the rare Prime. He has the Avengers team ability, which had been updated for this set. We got the Avengers, Howling Commandos, Invaders, Shield, Pass, and Soldier keywords. He has this trait, the Heart of the Avengers. Traded leadership and willpower. When Captain America uses either and succeeds after resolution, you may heal 1 click on a friendly character that shares a keyword with him. So probably an Avengers team. And he is coming in at 45 points. He has 8 charge with 12 attack, precision strike, 19 toughness, as well as a 3 damage close combat expert. He also has zero range double targets, so this is a close combat Captain America piece. He also has another trait, Captain America's Shield, Knockback, Energy Shield Deflection. As a range action, range attack with 4 range, it can shoot while adjacent, make a range attack. If Captain America made a close attack this turn, he may use this trait as free instead. Oh, okay. I totally understand what this figure is trying to do. So you can actually charge in, make your close combat expert attack, and then if you do so, you can knock back the character, and you can use this range action as a free instead. So it's kind of like 2 attacks. Okay, for the 45 point value, I think this is really good because with the energy shield deflection, if your opponent to target him at range, you are at 21 defense. That's really strong. It also has another trait. No, you move. When it's not your turn, friendly characters have immobile. This means that your opponent can't place your characters or maybe even knock back your characters. When it's your turn, opposing characters can't use immobile. Okay, so there's no way for them to prevent their characters from getting knocked back. I think this is a very interesting prime coming in at 45 points. I think he's pretty good. 12 attack. I think I see a lot of potential in this figure. And here's our next figure, which is the Rare Prime Hulk. I think this is one of the best figures that you can find in the set. He's the Avengers, Defenders, Brute and Monster keyword. Smash, if Hulk started this game on his red starting line, he may only heal from his Path of Destruction trait. And when he does, he may heal past his starting line. So he comes in at 2 different point values of 90 points or 10 points. 10 points is where the red starting line starts on click 9. He has the improved movement, destroy blocking terrains as well. And here's the Path of Destruction. When a Hulk destroys 1 or more pieces of terrain after resolutions, heal him 1 click. If it was a terrain marker, roll a d6 and heal him half instead. He also has another trait, which is Gamma Powered Willpower. Hulk's defense powers have protected outwit, so your opponent can't outwit his toughness, invulnerability, or invincible. At 10 points, I can see so much potential with this figure because all you need to do is just walk into terrain markers and you can heal up to 3 clicks, and this figure actually works pretty well with one of the new chases that we'll look at later, which is Dark Phoenix. We can give another free movement to our angry giant over here as well. Oh, he's not giant size. Okay, he's a normal size Hulk, but I do think you get what I mean. So there are potential ways for you to give free movement to Hulk, and as long as he destroys all these terrain markers, that's going to really help. Maybe you can find a way to give him sidestep as well, and then he can destroy another terrain marker. This is going to be so fun. 10 points. Thank goodness he's a rare prime, so he's probably slightly easier to get. But looking at the recent Spider-Man Venom symbiote from the Spider-Man Beyond Amazing set, where the rare prime is actually more expensive than quite a lot of figures in the set, I'm hoping this Hulk won't escalate as high as that one. And taking a look at our last rare prime for this video, we have Iron Man with the Avengers team ability, Avengers, Stark Industries, Armor and Scientist keywords. You can play Iron Man at 100 points. Here's the trait Avengers Financer, Leadership and Willpower. When Iron Man uses either and succeeds after resolution, you may remove an action token from a friendly character that shares a keyword with him. So this removal of action token can happen anywhere on the map. You do not need to draw line of fire. It doesn't have to be adjacent. So this is like an additional form of leadership. He also has another trait, Energy Shield Deflection. When Iron Man makes a range attack, you may modify his attack value by +2. If you do, until your next turn, Iron Man can't use Energy Shield Deflection. So if you're starting to get close enough to attack your opponent, might as well get the +2 attack to make this Iron Man a total of 14 attack with 4 damage, precision strike, invincible, 8 movement running shot. That's a really strong opening for this Prime Iron Man. And at the back of his card, Custom Suits for My Teammates is also another trait. At the beginning of the game, give each character an armor token. Each friendly character an armor token. Friendly characters with an armor token have flight, invulnerability, and when this character is dealt damage after resolutions, remove armor token. Wow, that's pretty cool. You're giving invulnerability to everyone at the beginning of the game on your side of the field. They also gain flight, 100 points. I think this is pretty cool. You can potentially have a 14 attack value with precision strike. I wish there's some form of way that you can actually grant him maybe a penetrating psychic blast, so he can go through your opponent's impervious or invulnerability defenses. I think this is really cool for a prime figure. And now we're going to take a look at 4 chase figures, starting off with Ghost Goblin. He has the Masters of Evil and Sinister Syndicate team abilities, Masters of Evil, Sinister Syndicate, Mystical and Scientist keywords. You can play him at 2-point values of 100 points or 50 points. Multiversal Masters of Evil trait. Free if the character began your turn on the map, you may replace another character with this trait on the same click number. I do believe this trait appears for the next 3 figures, so I won't repeat myself. He also has a special attack power, which is Hellfire Bombs, Energy Explosion Poison, Improved Targeting, Destroys Blocking. Ghost Goblin deals penetrating damage. That's pretty cool. You can come in at 2 different point values. If you were to start at 100 points, he has Running Shot, this special attack power, 18 defense, and 3 damage with a special damage power. Let's take a look. A new rider to play with is a Perplex Outwit. Once per turn, when Ghost Goblin uses either to target an opposing character, after resolutions, you may deal 1 damage to an opposing character adjacent to the targeted character. He may deal 1 damage. And let's take a look at his first attack power. He deals penetrating damage. So don't forget about that. If you're to play him at 100 points, you have access to both of these powers. You can work with them together and they deal penetrating damage. He also has a special defense power, which is Energy Shield Deflection, Regeneration, and Super Senses that you can see at the later half of his dial, which is the last 4 clicks. So for a chase figure, 100 points, 50 points, I think it's pretty good. 50-point value, you can actually have access to 6 clicks with precision. Sorry, you have Energy Explosion Poison. So I think this figure is really good for his point cost. And moving on to our next figure, here we have Dark Phoenix, which has the Cosmic Energy Masters of Evil team ability. It also has the Masters of Evil, Phoenix Force, Brute and Cosmic, and Deity keyword. This figure also has the same trait, which is the Multiversal Masters of Evil trait. 100 points or 50 points. If you were to play at the 100 points, you have a total of 9 clicks. If you play at 50 points, you have 6 clicks as well. So this figure, if you were to play 100 points, you're opening with 12 attack and 3 damage, exploit, and penetrating blast. So let's take a look at the special powers. The movement special powers: go forth my berserkers, hypersonic speed. When Dark Phoenix is given a move action, after resolutions you may choose one. Move up to 2 other friendly characters with the brute keyword, half their speed values, or a friendly character with the brute keyword may attack. So this is a trait that I was talking about earlier with the rare Hawk Prime at 10 points. If you were to give a move action with Dark Phoenix, you can actually give that Hawk another move to destroy another terrain marker for him to heal a D6 roll where he heals half. This figure also has a special attack power, which is Life and Death Incarnate, Poison and Steel Energy. It also has a special defense power, which is Stop Super Senses Regeneration. When this click is revealed after resolutions, you may place a friendly character with the brute keyword into a square adjacent to Dark Phoenix. I think this is a pretty interesting figure. Hypersonic speed is really useful. This figure, if you're to play at 50 points, you also have access to support. So you may, lean towards the lower point value to act as a secondary attacker at range or, to heal the rest of your team. So why this figure looks into brute keywords so much? Because Phoenix has to tie in with her Wolverine, which is Hound. He has the Masters of Evil team ability. He has the Masters of Evil, Phoenix Force, Weapon X, Animal, and Brute keywords coming at 2 different point values as well, 100 points or 50 points. It also has the same trait, Multiversal Masters of Evil. So this figure has the improved movement, characters, and elevation. So if you're to open at a higher point value, we have access to Charge, 11 attack, Blade Score's Fang, Toughness, and a special damage power. If you're to go to the lower point value, you do not have access to Move and Attack. You just start with a click of Flurry. So you may have to depend on the special movement power of Dark Phoenix to get that additional move. So let's take a look at the trait. Loyal Death Hunter, Empower. When Hound attacks an opposing character that has been hit this turn by another friendly character that shares a keyword with him, modify attack value by +1. If the shared keyword is Phoenix Force, modify the attack value by +2 instead. Okay, so you may want to use your Dark Phoenix to make the first attack, and if you were to play Wolverine at 100 points, now you get a modifier of +2 attack, so you're going in with 13 attack value. This figure also has a special defense power, which is Scorch Marks for Soul, Combat Reflexes, Super Senses, and Toughness. And the last power, which is Grrr, is a special damage power, Exploit Weakness, Battle Fury, but may still be carried by friendly characters with the Masters of Evil keyword. So this character can actually be carried by the super rare Moonstone figure that we saw earlier that can be played at 25 points. When Hound takes damage after resolutions, you may heal him 1 click, so he can potentially survive. And looking at all those special defense powers, thank goodness it's not stop clicks. So this figure, I think, coming in at 100 points and 50 points, you may want to play him at 100 point value just because of the charge. So yeah, pretty good figure. And here we have our next chase figure, King Killmonger with the Masters of Evil team ability. I think that's a Asgardian Masters of Evil, Wakanda armor, ruler, soldier, spy keywords. This is a team up card of this version of Killmonger. So it's team up Masters of Evil or Wakanda. If Killmonger is on a listed team, friendly characters may use Blade's Claws Fangs. If that character can already use Blade's Claws Fangs, when they use it, increase the damage dealt by +1. This figure can also be played at 100 points or 50 points. Backing into your pretty little pieces is traded willpower for all characters with this trait when King Killmonger and or all more adjacent friendly characters would be hit by an opposing equipped character. Roll d6, 4 to 6, that character misses all attacks instead. Wow, that's really cool, especially with this new updated rules where characters can start equipped straight away. We're finding a lot more teams with characters that are equipped, so this trait is going to be really, really helpful. And the special movement power, which is charge, running shot, sidestep, okay, that is really good. It also has the special attack power, which Blaze Claws Fangs, Precision Strike, Steel Energy, and Giant Reach 2. So you can find this attack special towards the later part of the style. If you were to play him at 100 points, you can immediately have access to your charge, running shot, and sidestep. If you were to play at 50 points, you only have sidestep. So it's a give and take. You pay another 50 points for 3 more clicks. But I'm leaning towards more of the 100 for the 50 point value instead, where if you were to get hit, he still has the ability to use Steel Energy, Giant Reach to maybe heal him back up. So I think this figure is pretty good. And now moving on to the last figure that we're going to look at for today's Avengers 60th anniversary set, we have the Legacy card for the Avengers Prime. This figure is so awesome. It's a chase figure that has the Avengers team ability, Asgardian, Avengers, Stark Industries, Armor, Deity, Pass, and Soldier keywords. This figure comes in at 2 different points values of 300 points or 180 points, 8 range, triple lightning, though this character does not fly. So let's take a look at the trait. A day unlike any other. When Avengers Prime is KO'd by an opposing attack, before removing them from game, you may generate a character named Captain America and or Iron Man and or Thor on their last click and heal them 2 clicks. The total point value of these generic characters must be equal or less than Avenger Prime's point value. This trait also protected Pulse Wave. So that is a cool ability that we've been seeing with these recent dual figures from the Batman team-up set, such as Poison Ivy, Lex Luthor, and Joker. Now, this trait is unlike those previous figures because this trait does not look at characters that come in from your sideline. This could be from out of game. So this figure was designed in a way, if you were to KO this figure, you can bring in Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. You can bring in the prime versions of these characters from this set. That's really cool. So 300 points, 180 points, you're paying another 120 points just for 3 clicks. Let's try to find out why will you do that. So we have the movement special, which is Avengers Assemble, running shot, sidestep, free make and attack. Okay, it's kind of like another form of a running shot flurry. I think this is really good. It also has the attack special power, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Energy Explosion, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Precision Strike, and Quake. And we have the damage special power, Forever Fight as one, stop click, but only the first time this power is revealed this turn, Avengers Prime can reduce penetrating damage. Okay, so this stop click is pretty interesting. It only works for the first time it's revealed. So if the subsequent stop clicks won't be able to trigger if your opponent were to suppress a lot of attacks during that turn. But I'm leaning more towards the 180 points. Even though you do not have that free attack, you can start off the running shot with your penetrating blast, energy explosion, precision strike, and quick. I think that is a better value of 5 damage that you may want to start with. I think this is a very nicely designed legacy figure. It's quite balanced. I don't think you'll want to play at 300 points because your leadership would be pretty useless. And if your opponent were to KO this 300 points figure, even if you were to generate these 3 figures out, it's quite hard for you to catch up as well. So 180 points for this figure for sure. And now we're moving on to our last character we have over here, which is Thanos. Now this figure will be released as an Iconix figure. As we can see, the artwork done for this card is really gorgeous. This Thanos also has the Cosmic Energy Team ability, Black Order, Eternal, Minions of Thanos, Cosmic Deity, Monster, and Ruler keywords. Now, the Infinity Gauntlet completed. This trait gives a free action, choose a standard power on Thanos card. Thanos can use the chosen power until your next turn. So this figure has quite a wide range of abilities that you can choose from. And just as a free action, maybe if you're on the first click, you can have access to running shot immediately, and then you can running shot, penetrating blast with 12 attack, 19 defense invincible, and a 3 damage range combat expert. And on top of that, after you're done with running shot, you can use his sidestep to move backwards. Now this figure can make range attacks while adjacent. At 150 points, this figure also has 6 range and double targets. And let's take a look at the back of his card. Snap. When Thanos takes damage, give him an Infinity Gem token for each click of damage taken. Now, as a power action once per game, remove 6 gem tokens from Thanos. If you do, each player divides their opponent's force characters cards into 2 piles. Each player then chooses a pile of their own force cards, deal 3 unavoidable damage to all characters other than Thanos whose cards are in the chosen pile. Wow, this is the 50-50 split. So you will choose your opponent's character cards, you will divide them into 2 piles, and then when you return it to your opponent gets to decide which characters are going to receive 3 unavoidable damage. This unavoidable damage cannot be reduced by powers such as Invincible. It goes through stop clicks as well, so the decision is very painful. You can potentially KO a couple of characters when you're doing this snap trait. So thank goodness this is a once per game ability. But Thanos does not end. He still has a special defense power, which is you should have gone for the hit. Stop click invulnerability. Such an awesome figure. It's an Iconix figure, so you can actually purchase this figure directly. This kind of feels like a chase value, a chase powered figure. And I think if you really like Thanos, I think you should go ahead and get this Thanos Iconix figure as well. Thank you for joining me for this video today. And if you could, give me a like, share, and subscribe because it means a lot to me and it will help my channel grow. So thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one.